I was quite miserable, to be honest. Alongside going through perimenopause, life was quite rubbish. And then what with my hip as well, everything was getting me down. With my hip, it just felt like you couldn't even take the dog for a walk without it. It was just so unpredictable. You know, I'd go to put a shoe on and it wouldn't hold me up. Cleaning my shower, I couldn't lean to the side to do that. That would snag it. Sitting, laying, just generally everything. I was conscious of it all the time.
Yeah, I remember when we started, it sounded like, because you are a really active person and Gun used to be mobile and functional and everything.
Yeah.
So it did sound like there was just, it was kind of playing such a huge role in your life.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like I've been to so many other people as well, you know, and really good people up in London that deal with athletes and dancers and what have you. And, you know, I really put my trust in them and I did the work and I had rehab for like 12 weeks and I really trusted those people. So it's really hard when something isn't you know, when you think something isn't working, oh God, because they also are your friends. Get a personal bond as well, which makes it even harder when it's not working. And then you pretend it's working. I literally doom scrolled whatever I could and I followed so many people online. And the moment you start, obviously your algorithm then just throws so many things at you and you become overwhelmed and you try something for a day and you think, that makes sense, or that makes sense, or that makes sense. And it doesn't really work. And then obviously when I saw you, and I watched you for a long time before I contacted you, and just everything you were saying, I kept saying to my husband, she's making sense to me. She's making sense to me. So that's when I contacted you.
Yeah.
You know, and it's and awful, but people contact you out of desperation. They're you know, it's the last hope almost.
So what was it that made you think like, okay, was there like a certain particular thing that I said or something that made you like, okay, I'm just gonna book an appointment with her?
There must have been something specific, but it would have been a whole load of things that I saw you do. I didn't just see you one day and then go, oh, that's the person for me. I'd watched so much. It was probably about you talking about the femur pushing forward and that pinching. I think also when you're in that sort of state in your brain.
So you already kind of touched bases on what you tried before we met. And it sounded like there was, you know, multiple physical therapy approaches. Can you list all those things that you did before we started together?
It was physio. So when I was looking after a shop in London, we used to have an in-house physio. And it'll be 2 or 3 different physios that I saw under that umbrella of work. And I used to go and down and say, my hip. And they used to give me some exercises and I'd go off and they do needling, they do, and they do all manner of things. And send me off with some exercises and I'd do them. It just nothing really worked. And that was the time when sometimes it was one hip, sometimes it was the other one. It's never been both. And it was just such a confusing time. You just give up after all when something isn't working, and especially when I want it to work immediately, then you just stop doing it because I just know this isn't the right thing. And weirdly, one of your YouTube videos the other day, you were saying you can do your clams, you can do your side steps with your bands, you can do your glute bridges. And I'm like, they are all the exercises I was given, every single one. Spot on exercises, aeroplanes, weirdly, really interestingly, split squat like we do, but just not specific enough.
Yeah.
So I'd be there with my foot up against the wall, and that was a foot up against the wall, and it would be I'd be doing foot up against the wall, and I'd be doing clams like that.
Yeah.
Bent over, you know. So very similar, but just not right. And like you said, you have to do it in the right order.
Yeah. And what do you think, you know, what was the key there? Like, how come now the exercises, because I have to say they can be good exercises.
You said they're not wrong.
To happen before they become good ones. Why didn't they work for you? Because, you know, in theory, they are good exercises.
Because like you say, we have to go through this there's an order in which you need to do things. There was no point doing these strengthening exercises before the mobility stuff had happened. So at the beginning, with all the rock bands and all the sacrum stuff and all of that, if you try and strengthen before you've done all of that, you'll strengthen it in the wrong place. And then, like you say, you're still gripping, you're still doing. It's just all those tiny, tiny things that your program has done in the right order. And again, you only kind of you can say it till the cows come home to us, but you don't really realize it till the end. You go, oh, I get it.
So tell me a little bit, what has changed? How do you feel now?
Oh, I do feel so much better. I'm walking without moaning. Just generally, I don't think about it as much. My mindset's definitely different about it. When it does hurt, or if it gives me some signs, I just go, okay. And then I'm like it gave me a sign when I did some demos today. So I came in and I did a bit of a sacrum release, and it's just listening to it and knowing, like you say, it's not dangerous. It has shifted a lot in the last 2 weeks, I would say. I have a lot more freedom of movement in there. It's not perfect. So I was saying to you, when I circle my hip, it's still that moment of, oh, come on. And that hurts, that bit. But generally, it hurts much less. It's much quieter. And I mean, the clicking, the noise is much quieter now. And when there's a noise to it, that's almost a constant reminder, especially if I'm walking around and it's quiet and I can hear it every step I take. And that's much, much less. And sometimes it doesn't even cross my mind anymore.
Now, I remember sleeping was one of those things that was kind of tough for you in the beginning. How do you sleep now?
I was thinking about that the other day. I bought that great big long cushion and all those things. It feels so long ago. That's fine. All of that's fine. But when I do go to bed now, in the last couple of weeks, I don't have my hip pain, but I do, especially if I lay on my tummy. And I obviously go anterior tilt when I lay on my tummy. Here feels it. And when I just did that, then I felt it. Yeah.
That's the anterior, just, needing more core stuff there. What about,
that's the thing I've found the hardest, weirdly, the core stuff. I think I have only found being able to help my pubic bone very, very recently using my lower abs. I think I found that in the last 2 weeks, maybe. And I know my ribs are still an issue because I've been like that all my life. My dad was the same. I have to really think about my ribs. And I know they are still like, hiya. But yes, I have found more recently. And when I'm in the car and I think of pubic bone and sternum tear, the pubic bone and sternum, I'm consciously doing that without using my bum. That's another mindset thing that I'm really aware of.
What would you say to someone who is considering joining the hip revive method, but they are maybe not feeling so confident, or what would you tell them?
I 100% say do it, because I've done it, and I was the same. I wasn't confident. I was desperate, and I think that's where everyone starts when they reach out, don't they? Because all of us have had it for months or years, and tried so much, haven't we? Absolutely, go for it. And I would say come to the group classes, because you get so much out of what everyone else says as well. And you also see where other people have got to, and that gives you hope.
So I think it's important to show them what's possible, because, and people have different ways of dealing with pain or dealing with hard things, that we're doing. Always say, share the wins, share the positives, because it gives inspiration and hope. And even some cases, it can, some people might just, it can help them to kind of show up in a different level as well. So absolutely, it's a big thing.